What up, YouTube? Now with this self-determination. So today, I decided to add a new ripple to my page. I'm gonna start talking about boxing because, for one, I love the sport of boxing. Not gonna get into a whole lot of my own past and nothing like that, but I've trained, sparred, and blah blah blah. And I've been in love with boxing ever since I was a little kid. And instead of me waiting on other people to chime in on what's going on when it comes to boxing and, their opinions, I decided it's time for me to start putting my own opinions out there and chiming in on boxing myself. So, for those of you who have not heard, the Eubanks, Chris Eubank Jr. and his father, have been basically, putting Andre Ward in their mouth because Chris Eubanks Jr. has a fight coming up with Renold Quilan. And basically Eubanks Sr. Pretty much said that he could give up 6 or 7 pounds to Andre Ward and still wreck Andre Ward. Basically saying that Andre Ward is no match for him. And I gotta be honest with you, judging him off of the fight that I saw him in with Billy Joe Saunders, he doesn't stand a chance in hell against Andre Ward. Personally, he doesn't stand a chance in hell against Andre Ward. If he fought Andre Ward the way he fought Billy Joe Saunders, who, by the way, I think actually fought a pretty good fight in that fight. A higher caliber fighter would have beat him badly. He has a very unorthodox style. He's off balance a lot. He keeps his hands low. He doesn't work behind his jab as often as I would like to see. He throws wild looping punches, from 3 feet out. I mean, he does a lot of things that I think are wrong. But in any event, so I'm gonna just go ahead and get to it. So basically, Chris Eubanks' father was, basically talking a whole bunch of crap, and Chris Eubanks even said in a video that I saw on Fight Hype, basically that he wants the Golovkin fight, he wants the DeGale fight, he wants, and he's about to fight the guy Renold Quilan. All of these people are stepping stones to him to get to Andre Ward. All of that is yet to be seen. I mean, him and his father completely botched the negotiations, from my understanding, with Gennady Golovkin. I mean, dude, before you start saying that Gennady Golovkin is a stepping stone, you need to actually get in the ring and show and prove. I don't know if he's actually serious about anything he's saying or if he's just trying to build hype. I'm kind of leaning towards the side that they're just building hype by keeping his name in their mouth. Building hype, kind of like the UFC is doing with Floyd Mayweather. Constantly bringing his name up to build interest in their own events and stuff like that, and their own fighters. Now, Andre Ward is finally black. He's finally clapping back at these dudes. Finally, he is saying stuff. And the funny thing is, he's giving these interviews to UK press. And to be honest with you, I don't blame him. He doesn't trust the media over here in the United States, and for very good reason. Look at the conspiracy that Oscar De La Hoya's team has had against Al Heyman, and I honestly do not believe that the head doesn't know what two of his hands are doing. Your brain knows everything. Oscar De La Hoya is the brain of his organization, and to not know that his constituents were plotting against Al Heyman is complete bullshit, plain and simple. Now, just a quick update. Oscar De La Hoya was suing Al Heyman for the Muhammad Ali Act, basically saying that Al Heyman was trying to taking over venues and wasn't allowing Golden Boy the opportunity to get certain venues and blah blah blah. Basically, the judge ruled in favor of Al Heyman and completely threw the whole case out. This was in the midst of, now the court. All of this was in the midst of the whole email scandal with Balderas and Gonzalez exchanging these racist emails against Al Heyman. So now we're past that. So Andre Ward finally actually, comments on on this, and I'm going to read some of this article. Andre Ward has laughed off any suggestion that Chris Eubank Jr. poses a threat to his unbeaten record. Eubank Jr.'s father and trainer, Chris Sr., himself a former two-weight world champion, declared earlier this week that his son would wreck Andre Ward. I've already said that. Blah, blah, blah. And this is a quote from Andre Ward. Quote, "You can't come out of the crib running," end quote. And quote, "You've got to crawl before you run." And him being a former fighter and former champion, referring to Chris Sr., knows that. He knows that too well. I've seen a lot of overly zealous fathers get their sons knocked out and get them in bad situations throughout the course of my career. The zealousness is cool. Make sure it's not too much too soon, end quote. Eubank Jr. has one defeat on his 24 fight record, losing to Billy Joe Saunders at the Excel back in 2014. Now, I'm glad to see that Andre Ward is, basically banging back at these clowns who keep on putting his name in their mouth. I'm gonna read some more quotes from Andre Ward. Quote, "I understand how the game works." End quote. Quote, "This is the first time they've ever brought my name up. The week of this fight, they're trying to drum up this fight, get the people excited. They're calling out some big names. They're trying to sell some more pay-per-views, get some more people on the seats. I understand. When I was younger, that stuff used to rile me up, and I didn't want to respond. You won't prove yourself, and you want to prove yourself, and anytime anybody says anything, it can strike a nerve. I've been in the game so long, I just laugh at that kind of stuff," end quote. So, big ups to Andre Ward. Props to him for finally starting to, fire back at these goofballs who keep his name in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? And that's it for the Andre Ward and Eubank Jr. Senior little verbal sparring session, so to speak. Now, the fight that's coming up with Renold Quilan, who I do not know who this guy is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna try and find. I'm sorry, I just got distracted by an ad. Sorry about that. I'm gonna try and find some footage on this guy and see what I can find out about him. But this is interesting to me because this is what I saw in Chris Eubank's eyes. I thought this was very interesting. Quinlan will defend his IBO super middleweight title against Eubank Jr. on Sunday night at Kensington Olympia in London. And the 27-year-old Australian believes that the British fighter does not fancy his chances after last week's press conference. I'm looking forward to getting in the ring on Saturday. It's going to be a war, end quote, Quinlan told World Boxing News. Quote, "At the press conference, I looked into the eyes of Eubank Jr. and could tell he was scared. He was very nervous and he looked in fear of what he was up against on the weekend. I think he is now realizing the challenge he faces the nearer the fight gets," end quote. Now, Eubank Jr. had, I already said it, one defeat. He lost by split decision to Billy Joe. However, he has impressed since and became the British middleweight champion last year. But Quinlan is confident he can dispatch the 27-year-old without too much bother and has already set his sights on another British fighter, IBF super middleweight champion James DeGale. I'm not looking past this fight, but I know once I get through the Eubanks, I'm on to bigger and better things, end quote, Quinlan added. Now, I think that is very interesting. Again, I don't know who Quinlan is. I'm not sure of, how he actually fights, or even if he'll be a challenge for Eubank Jr. I have to check that out. But I just wanted to give you that that info. I haven't seen anybody report on this yet. So, this is a new ritual in my channel. I'm gonna start, reporting on the sport that I love. The first sport that I fell in love with is boxing. So stay tuned, like, and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace. Oh yeah, and one more thing I wanted to add too. I gotta chime in on this. Carl Froch has been going in on Andre Ward, saying his style is ugly, saying he fights dirty, he uses dirty tactics, and this, that, and the third. Man, Carl Froch need to shut the hell up. You mad because Andre Ward whipped that ass in the Super 6 and you were not able to get a rematch. And from what I understand, you weren't able to get the rematch because you were making A-side demands and you were the one that lost. In fact, didn't Andre Ward take Carl Froch's belt? Didn't Carl Froch have a belt that Andre took from him? He wanted to still call A-side shots after the fact. And Andre... So, basically, man, he need to shut the hell up. You lost, dog. That was years ago. The Super 6 was years ago, and you still bitter. You still bitter. If you really wanted that fight, you know what I mean, you would have played your B-side role because you're now on the B-side. You would have played your B-side role. You know what I'm saying? You would have got the fight, and Andre Ward would have whipped your ass again. And then Sergey Kovalev, man, look. I think Sergey Kovalev can fight. I really do. But man, you need to take your L like a man. Andre Ward beat you in that fight. And even if it was a close fight, even if you, irrespective of that, the judges picked him. So how was Andre Ward the one getting all his heat when the judges picked him in the fight? The judges thought he won the fight. The judges thought he won. Andre Ward didn't manipulate them. He didn't consider himself the winner. Andre Ward was elected the winner by the judges. Plain and simple. That's how it happened. Carl Froch need to shut the hell up, man. Seriously, like real talk. Like, yo, I get it. You're bitter. You're mad. But yo, man, come on. Come on, man. Get your mind right. You lost the fight. Plain and simple. Get over it. Kovalev, you lost the fight. Get over it, man. Seriously, get over it. You lost. And that's all I really wanted to say about that, man. I wanted to chime in on that because these dudes keep on dragging this man's name through the mud. You know what I'm saying? He has an ugly style. Carl Froch, he has an ugly style. You know, he used dirty tactics and this, that, and the third. I didn't hear him say anything about the dirty shit Kovalev was doing in that fight. I didn't hear him say anything about the dirty tactics, the headlocks, the tying his arms up every time he got in. You know, I didn't hear him say anything about that. Where did these things happen? But I did see an interview where he was saying Andre Ward was headbutting. Man, come on, man. I'm done. I'm out. I just wanted to add that, but I'm out, man. Come on, man. Get your panties out of your butt crack. Stop acting like a bitch. I'm out.